Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Let's Connect Now. I am JR.
And I am Monica.
And we have another great episode for you guys. But before we get into our episode, we want to make mention of those that support Let's Connect Now.
Yes, our sponsors are always very important.
Yes, our new sponsor, we got Massage Envy of West Covina and Diamond Bar, right?
Yes, West Covina and Diamond Bar. We also have Prospectors Federal Credit Union. They're located here in West Covina and in the city of Diamond Bar as well.
What? Wow, it's like everybody's, wow, very amazing. I like that.
Yeah, our good friends of Suburban Water Systems, thank you so much
Yes.
for your continued support.
We also got the No Chance Foundation,
Yes, the No
Chicano
Chance
Hollywood, Black Widow Investigations. If you guys have a case right now and need some more investigation on your case, make sure you guys call Black Widow Investigations. They will take care of you. All right, so guys, exciting!
I think we have, we don't make it a habit to make mention, but the Plaza West Covina is also a great supporter of everything that we are doing, and we're going to be sharing a lot of events, that are going to be held here.
Yes.
And we love promoting them because they do a fantastic job in putting those events together.
Yeah,
So-
right. We have a good partnership with them. We just had a meeting, and I think everything went very, very well.
Yeah.
And because we're going to be planning a lot of big events, and big events coming up soon too.
We're planning ahead.
Yes.
I think we're working a lot more constructive now than we were before, where everything would just hit us in the face. Like, oh my God, this is here. Oh my God, this is here.
I don't know where my water went, but it's all right.
Your water.
I lost my water.
Right there on the floor.
You put my water on the floor?
I did not. You did it.
Oh, okay. How dare you touch my water? That's funny. But no, we once again, it's men's mental health awareness, and I hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode. It was an episode that myself, you were transparent last month, and I got a little transparent last episode. But it still is men's mental health awareness, and just talking to a lot of people and being around a lot of people and stuff. It's something that I didn't know because of last week. But we're not gonna get to it right now. We're still doing our thing, but it was just amazing.
It was, and I'm just going to touch a little bit on what you just said about me being transparent last month.
Yes.
And I'll just share a little bit of feedback on that.
Yeah, please.
Because it actually, when we hear feedback, not a lot of people comment, and if they do comment, they comment like "good job," emojis, being supportive, and we love that, right?
Yes.
But when you actually have a conversation with people about something that was said or something that they found out about you, the way that that they approached me, I was so amazed because it was in such a loving, supportive way that it really made me feel like people do listen to what you are saying.
Yeah.
And they're sensitive to the situation or what you share because it takes oh my God, I don't know if you guys know this, but it takes so much to become transparent.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in the field that we are in,
Yep,
where we're always
yep.
in the public eye, and it just takes a lot of courage.
Well, being in the public eye, like you said, it's like people look at you as if you're not supposed to have any imperfections.
Like you're supposed to be,
perfect.
yeah, or
They
normal.
they put you on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And then when you do make a mistake, they're like, what the
Not a
heck?"
mistake, but
But
yeah.
even anything, if you have any type of imperfections, they look at like, what?
Yes.
Monica?
It's-
No way.
It's either a negative attack because they'll utilize it against you, or it would be positive. And
Yes.
at this point, I'm sharing the positiveness, to one client, she almost made me cry because it really touched her. And
Nice.
not just what I said, but what our other guests also shared.
Nice, yes.
And that means a lot to us. It really does, because that's the reason why we're doing this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is if we're touching someone or we're inspiring someone, that it's okay. That's the goal.
That's the goal. And so, if you guys haven't got to see that episode, make sure you guys tune in. It's a couple episodes back. It's with Med Spa Deluxe LA with our good friends Guyana and Sarah. And you make sure you guys check out that episode with them. It was a very good episode about about bipolar and stuff. So, but when we come back, we are going to hit a little bit more about men's mental health awareness, and not just about men's mental health awareness, because it is mental health awareness as well. And and this episode is airing after Father's Day, so we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So, because it's my day, yeah.
He's so excited about it too.
Yes, I am.
Oh my God, it's almost like it's JR's day, not Father's Day.
It's JR's week, guys. So we'll be right back.
Shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Knees and toes. And eyes and cheeks and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Knees and toes.
Affordable self-care from professional massage therapists and estheticians. It's what we do. Massage Envy, where better begins.
Hey everyone, this is Danielle with Prospectors Federal Credit Union. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Just wanted to let you know that Prospectors, we offer a variety of products and stuff for all ages and all types of areas that you might need banking. We're really focused on our youth, as I have mentioned many times in the past. Just celebrated our Youth Month for April, but we're still focused for those kids. We offer checking, savings, equity lines, credit cards at low rates. We can also do auto loans, new and used. And for some of those businesses out there that are sole proprietors or DBA, meaning you are using your social instead of a tax ID number for the business, we can help in that area as well. You can actually locate us at either West Covina, right there off of Lakes, or in Diamond Bar. You can reach us directly at 909-396-9688. And if you want to reach me directly, you can get my extension at 2240. Look forward to seeing you guys soon. Bye.
Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And if you own a business, DM us if you want to come on our show. If you have product that you want us to talk about, if you're a brand new business, send us a DM. We would love to showcase you here in our show. We have a lot of things coming up in the next few months, so make sure you guys are looking at our promos on Instagram. And thank you so much for watching every Tuesday night on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay, everybody, we are back. And we are going to touch up again a little bit about the men's mental health awareness. I keep on trying to say something different because it's like men's mental health awareness. So, yeah. So, Monica, why are you staring? She's just looking at me like...
Because it seems like you have a lot of, you already have, everything that you want to say, and you're just ready to,
Actually, no, I think I have everything I don't want to say, and I want to avoid, if anything, because, at the end of the day, I was actually discussing this with your husband. What a lot of people don't understand, and is that men. It's very hard for men to be vulnerable. It's very hard for men to open up because, like we said before the break, is that we want our number one thing when you ask, test this out, people. When you ask a husband or a father, somebody a little older, when you ask them, "Hey, how you doing?" "I'm okay." But are you really okay? And that's the question, because most of the time we say, yeah, and you just take that as okay, good, they're okay. But inside, men, we don't necessarily like to just open up, and there is men out there that do. Don't get me wrong, there's men out there that get in touch with their feelings and are in touch. And I believe that as I'm getting a little older, for some reason, I don't know why, but the sensitivity level starts arising.
It's your hormones.
It's my
You're going through menopause too.
Oh my God. I'm going through menopause, guys. Please, is there any ingredients out there I need?
I think men, I think you're absolutely right. I think men do find it a lot harder to talk about certain things because there's a certain, you're the provider, you're the strong person, you're as a husband, me as a wife, that's my to-go person to talk about my stuff. And when you're going through something, it's almost like some people try to keep it together. Some men try to keep it together because they still have to show that they're strong and, emotions don't affect them. But again, I think I mentioned this, on the last show, you how do you say you keep it all in,
bottle it in.
You keep it all inside, and then it comes to a point where now it leads to different things like depression, anxiety,
Well,
because
those are the two number one things.
yeah, because
for men, I looked it up.
exactly, because you're keeping it all inside, and you don't know why you're reacting a certain way. It's just, and it could be because you don't want to talk about, what your current, because you don't think it's that important.
You know what I think it is? It's not that. Yeah, you're right. We don't want to talk about it because we know we need to do something about it.
In some instances, yes.
And when somebody is telling you, you need counseling and you need to change, I'm not saying to for a man, like someone who is going through some mental health or going through depression or anxiety, who is dealing with those issues, when somebody is addressing you at that moment that, you need counseling, you need to go to this, at that moment, it's not really motivating the individual to say, yes, you know what, you are right. I need to go because you know what, I have depression, I have anxiety. At that moment, it brings on the anxiety because, yes, we know we need that.
Well, okay.
But we want to accept it.
Correct. So to go back on what you just said, so if you're sharing something with me and you are my husband or like as a best friend, because we're we're best
We're
friends.
besties, guys. Just in case you didn't know.
Yeah. If you're sharing something, very sensitive, something that's really important to you, I just have to listen. I don't need to give you my opinion. I don't need to, to judge you. I just need to listen because sometimes that's all people want. I don't need to write you a prescription for, you need to go to therapy because, sometimes we just need to listen.
And we know we need to go to therapy, but I believe there is as being a friend or anybody, a spouse, a friend.
Sometimes it can help you find that solution.
No, the therapy is good, I believe, but I it's easier said than done. Because I'll be transparent with myself. Like myself, I know that I need to go deal with certain things in my life because of the passing of my brother. It did bring a lot of depression and anxiety. As I started to look into this, the two biggest things I deal with a lot is the depression and anxiety. And I began to literally I read it and I've folded it back a little bit of going places. And now I like more solitude and stuff, but those are signs of me having issues. So I know that I need to deal with it, but I believe me, just as an individual, I don't. It's easier said than done. What I was saying because it's like I don't want to get started. That makes sense. It's like the procrastination of it, and I don't.
And why do you feel that you need to procrastinate on that?
I feel because part of me says I can tackle this myself. I could overcome this myself.
I can see that.
If I read and if I get back on the groove of things and stuff, I could just and it's gone because I've done it in the past with other things in my life. But
they were probably not as intense or as because what happened to your brother, it was tragic. And there's a difference between, when, we love all of our family members, obviously, but like the passing of my mother-in-law the effect that it had on my husband. She lived a great life, 86 years old. And so he's very saddened by it. But your loss was tragic. And so it's very traumatic, not just for you, but for everybody, so you're not only are you dealing with yourself and your feelings, but also like your mom, the wife, the daughter, because, you have empathy towards them as well. So when, you try to make yourself like, you can handle it and you want to help them,
okay.
You're neglecting yourself. And so when you neglect yourself, you're not, sometimes it could be so much that you're not being of help to them.
Right.
Because you're not putting yourself first. Before we could be of help to anyone in the world, anybody in our lives, we have to first deal with our stuff before we can offer them help. Because how do you know that the advice you're giving them, it's going to work if you haven't even tried it on yourself?
No, that's right. It's the even with what we do, we deal with a lot of businesses and stuff, and carrying that load, as a man, we want to be, like you said earlier, the provider. We want to be, the protector. We want to be, the healer. There's a lot of things that we want to be for our families. And if we're not being those things, it does cause depression, anxiety, the self-worth, is not there. We don't feel that we are being who we need to be. And that causes a lot of things. And that's why, women just have it just the same, because, they want to be great mothers and stuff. And we don't really, hit a lot of the men stuff, and because we, sometimes men, they say the best, like, I was talking to some friends before, and they said the best therapy for men is that when we just get together and we shoot because we're just hanging out and we're just talking, and that's sometimes the best therapy for us.
Does that work? Does that really work?
No, because it depends. Are they feeding into it and saying, forget them and this and that, or are they really being encouraging and saying, hey, well, you know what, you shouldn't do that? Or so it depends on the friend that you're talking to at that moment.
Yes, and in a lot of situations, like what you're making mention of, drinking and just, drinking is just a Band-Aid.
Yeah,
doing drugs
that's
is
just
just
a
a Band-Aid. And that's what happens too. It's like when you can't deal with the situation, and I read about that too, not just with men, but with younger, young men as well, is they have so much that they don't know how to handle it. So then what comes next? How do they make that go away? Alcohol, drugs, hanging out with the wrong people that are always fun, just putting Band-Aids on the situation that is not being dealt with. And that's when destruction starts happening, and sometimes it leads to, I hate to say this word, I mean, it's suicide.
Yeah.
I think, just because men are a little bit, different than women, a problem is a problem. A situation is a situation. We women tend to find comfort in other women that we could talk to. And, because we have so much empathy in us, a lot of us, we're able to, just be a listening ear to them. But a man is not going to go in front of a group of girls and start talking about his stuff, because then it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah, it would be out of place a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you actually, that's the thing. You said a true statement where women can vent out to each other like that, but if I came, like, let's say you and some of our colleagues are sitting there talking about a little bit of an issue, and then I came and just all of a sudden say, you know what, because I'm going through, they'll be like, wow, Jared's messed up. Like, because it'll be awkward because, like, I'm a man.
Yeah.
Like, us women are supposed to be like that, but we didn't expect a man and to be, what? Man, Jared has some issues. Oh my God. Because you're right. It would kind of make them trip at that moment of it. Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, and there's a big difference, when we talk to our spouses. Like, if I were to talk to my husband about something or whatever, he right away he's coming up with a solution.
That's who we are, yeah.
And I had to kind of tell him, let me just talk. Let me just, because sometimes we're, just like you, we're not looking for a solution. We just want someone to listen, and if in a loving way, you feel that, that you are worth, you are worthy of seeking, the right help for yourself. Then you proceed to do that. But it should never be something that somebody tells you right away, oh, well, you need therapy. Because everybody takes everything, like, they use it in ways that hurts people. Because even though I know I need therapy, but if I'm sharing something with you and right away you're like, yeah, you need to go to therapy. It's kind of like, wow, that's not, because you don't want to deal with me at that point anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like you're just shutting me down.
I liked what you said, because you said something that's key. Because if you're going to share with somebody that they need therapy, it needs to come across with concern and love, not to, like you said, it's coming to them as a negative. Like all of a sudden you're arguing with your spouse or your girlfriend or whoever, your business partner, and they all of a sudden just say, you know what, man, you need therapy. They said it so much as a negative. And now it's in your head as a negative. Like, I don't need therapy. What are you talking about? You need therapy.
Yeah, and if couples, married couples or boyfriend and girlfriend are using that, to hurt each other,
Put each other down.
Then therapy will never be in the future plans for you because now it's a negative. Because I've heard people say, something, people that are bipolar, oh, she's crazy. Like, that statement is so hurtful because you're so wrong and ignorant at that point because you're saying that. And it's like you shut it all down, because that's why a lot of people, like, men, women, young adults, they keep it all inside, and then we wonder, like, why are they going through that? It's because they don't have a support system. They don't have someone who actually, they don't trust anybody, because if you can't trust your own family, your own parents, for you to trust someone from the outside, it's going to take a lot, and so then what happens?
Do you think it's part of our culture of being Latino, Hispanic, Chicano, whatever you want to call yourselves out there, okay? So where growing up, because as you were saying that, I remember growing up where it was said to me a couple times, you'll get over it.
Yes.
You'll get over it. Get over it. Come, man up. Let's go.
Yes.
So you, once again, when you're manning up, you're actually putting a Band-Aid over it. So, yeah, maybe because a lot of the past stuff that I was going to kid. Because you know what? I was watching a movie the other day. And what?
You watch many movies.
I watch many movies, and it's with Kevin Costner, and it's called The Perfect Game.
Oh, I've seen that one.
I think it's called The Perfect Game. Yeah, The Perfect Game, or The Love for the Game. The Love for the Game. The Love for the Game with Kevin Costner, and I was watching that because he was reflecting on his life and everything. And growing up as a kid, I was a pitcher. From little league all the way to high school, I was a pitcher. And one thing that one of my coaches told me, and it stood with me ever since, is that you being a pitcher, at that moment on the mound, you're the leader. And I think that's why I've had those leadership qualities, because being on that mound, the team is behind you to support you in baseball. That's, as a pitcher, the pressure's on the pitcher. If someone hits a home run, they don't blame the team. They blame the pitcher, because at the end of the day, he pitched the wrong pitch. Everyone else didn't do anything. They were ready to support the pitcher.
Well, not necessarily a wrong pitch, but it was.
No, it's a wrong pitch. And at the end of the day, it's a wrong pitch because, he should have thrown it differently, but he threw it down the middle, and the batter got it. And at that moment, it's like the center of the world because everybody's watching the pitcher. So there's a lot of pressure, especially when the bases are loaded and it's all on you now. And having that pressure as a young kid, because there's parents yelling, the other team parents are screaming at you saying, "You can hit him, he sucks," and you're like, "What? I suck? What? Dude, I'm gonna strike your kid out right now." So it's like, I believe that has made me, in a sense, because I reflected of who I am and have the leadership qualities, because you are at that moment the person. But at the same time, I started reflecting. I was like, that's a lot of pressure, especially in little league and high school. That was a lot of pressure on me. And I'm not making that as the excuse, but I'm just saying it's giving me the leadership qualities that I have, the disciplines that I have. But it also, as I began to reflect, I was like, I took in a lot of stuff, of things like, even though I'm sharing with you right now, there's just so many memories are going in my head as before I went on the mound and the things I had to do and stuff. And it was very interesting.
Well, those are life lessons, and they do teach you something. But, why you're not an emotional guy, I don't know if I've ever really seen you be emotional. I know that, my husband is. I mean, he'll cry if he, if I do something really great, he hugs me and he'll cry because he's so happy for me. you know? So, and for a little while, I'm guilty. I didn't like it. I just didn't like it because, I
being
never
not showing emotion.
Yes, him.
wow.
No, him,
him.
crying. It felt very uncomfortable. Like I didn't know. I mean, if you're celebrating, but you're tears are coming out of your eyes and you're getting really emotional because I didn't grow up seeing my father being that way, or my grandfather, or any men in my life. There was nobody cried. My dad never showed emotions, only anger when he got mad. So it was really weird, whenever my little brother Robert would cry, right away we needed to shut him down and call him a chillon or crybaby or whatever. And that sucks because we're mocking him for having feelings. and so that's horrible, because he was just a little boy and it should have been, but we've never taught to be sensitive towards a boy, a person that cried. I didn't learn about any of that until I got older and I had sons. The fact that my sons needed to cry, I would give them, a minute or two to cry and get it out of their system. But we never said you shouldn't cry because those are emotions that are of a normal human being. Because why is it okay for a girl to cry and not a boy? Why? Because they're men. They shouldn't be a difference. We should be allowed to, because it feels good when you cry, when you get those emotions out. I was always embarrassed to cry in front of my family, and I couldn't figure out why, but I would see my mother crying and I'd be like, okay, but why can I? It's because we always got mocked for it, and we shouldn't grow up that way. We should be, it's okay if you cry.
I do now, and then but I'm watching my movies by myself, so I'll be like a little too. Whew, that was a little touching
every
there.
time we come to your house, you're watching action movies, so I don't know how you cry to those movies, but okay. It's always an action movie of killing and knives, and he even brings that to my house, and I have to put up with that. I hate those, but like, I don't know, you shared some stuff with me, and I know that, when you and I first reconnected and you told me about your brother, because I didn't know, or I found out through social media, and there was a lot that you were holding back, but it wasn't I wasn't in a position in our friendship where I could just like ask you or even ask you questions. I didn't know what was allowed, and I would just wait until you said something or made mention of something, but I wasn't like nothing like that. But as we've gotten closer and been working together and doing stuff with our spouses and stuff, you've shared some things, and I just don't understand, I guess maybe now I do understand more, like why you chose those behaviors, that you did. And again, we can go back to what you mentioned earlier, it's the people that you surrounded yourself with,
Yeah, because it's not to, like, even when you're talking right now, I'm reminiscing and just growing up, like I said, being in sports, you don't show your weakness. You don't show that you're weak. You don't show that you're scared. You don't show anything like that because you don't want the other team to see that you're nervous or you're scared of them. So you have to put this facade on that, we're going to take care of you. And then also just growing up and I was in church and stuff and doing stuff in church, being a leader and all that stuff in church. You don't show the people under you that you're going through it, you're stressed, you're stressing out, and this and that, because they have to. They're looking up to you. So I guess I've always been in a position where people are looking to me to guide. So if I showed weakness or showed that I didn't know what I was doing, it would trickle down, and people wouldn't follow me or listen, because I've always been in a position, whether it was church, sports, of a leader. And that's weird because you're seeing all this stuff. Things are going in my head, and there's being all that stuff. I guess I've never been in a position where to follow, in a sense. Like, well, I'm gonna be honest. I come to you sometimes in the morning. And I say, "Hey, I want to follow you today. I don't want to do anything, just you." I'm not saying that I lead it here, but because sometimes I just, I've shared with my wife, like, should I go get a normal job and just follow now? Because even being in the position that we are today and doing, we have to show a certain image. So I guess, what cracking down is throughout my life, I've had to show a certain image on my Facebook page, Instagram page, on what we're doing, Jared and the crew. People that knew me very well knew when I started speaking about certain things would text me because they knew something was wrong. Because they had an image of me. Why are you saying that? You've never said that before. I've always had an image of you in this, so it would just automatically put me like I have an image to uphold.
Yeah, but that is. Do you know? Okay, so I can see that, but
Right?
do you? Yes.
Do you understand? Like, as you're saying this,
I
I'm
get
kind
you.
of like, wow, this is therapy 101 right here.
Yeah, because I'm in the same position as you.
Yes.
So the moment that we take a leap of faith and we decide that we are just like everybody else, we are normal, we're going through it, we've gone through stuff has happened to us that some people can't even imagine, we become just like everyone else. And why should we be different? Because when you have things in common with other people, relationships become a lot stronger. And not because you pick up on their stuff. No, it's because you have something in common, and there's conversations that you would normally have, but you don't even know that when you're having that conversation with someone that lost someone in the same way, maybe not in the same way, but in a tragic way. You're talking about it now, and so you're releasing, something. And it's in a positive way, especially because you're not comparing stories, because it's not about comparing. Oh, mine was worse than yours or whatever. No, it's healthy, because if they're willing to share it with you so easily, why wouldn't you? It becomes a lot easier to now, navigate through like what we're going through and know that we're not alone. And a lot of people feel that they are alone with their pain, with their suffering, that their suffering is not worth being mentioned of because there's people that are going through worse. That's not fair. Obviously, that's always going to be that way, but it's not fair. You matter. You matter. You as a person matter. You're not there on social media crying to people or trying to, get sympathy. No, you're not doing that. You're being human. You're sharing something about yourself that could possibly help other people.
Yeah,
And
true.
so that makes you human. And actually, I would respect someone that does that. For some reason, Instagram, whatever social media outlet that people utilize to do that feels weird. When you hear somebody sharing something about themselves, it feels really weird. You're like, what is she talking about? What? She's going through that? Now we are in the wrong. They're not. We are. But because we're not used to that, because you have an image, I have an image, and then all of a sudden we're throwing up on people about something, it feels uncomfortable because that's not something that we would do personally, but not because they're doing something wrong. It's because we're wrong, because we're judging.
No, yeah, we're judging them.
And that's not fair, and a lot of times they're only doing it to help somebody, like saying, you know what, I'm human, I'm going through this, and this is what's happening, but they're doing it in a way that is healing to others, not in a way where they're throwing all their dirty laundry out there, and it's
well, there's some people that do
nothing
that,
constructive,
but
right?
that's not good.
Yeah, and so
Because you're not going to get anything positive out of that.
Exactly. So so the way I feel like the way we are that we're talking, it's we're just two human beings. You're you're human, and your past and your traumas, they don't define the person that you are today. It only makes you stronger when you do share, and you let people know it's okay. Because I bet you anything that if you went to a group of people that you trust really good and you're really good friends with, and you shared something about yourself that they didn't know, they would probably be like, oh, wow, like, I don't know, it'd probably be healing to them too. And you probably find out something about them that they normally wouldn't
so
share.
it depends on who you talk to and stuff, and who you share with. It's very important.
You do have to be careful who you share it with, because there's certain things that you might just want to keep internal with your spouse. But then, but things like tragedies and things like that, I mean, we're you're helping other people deal with it, in the best way that you can, and maybe they could help you.
Oh, definitely. I really agree with everything you're saying, because it's who we talk to, it's who we pour out to. And yes, there's people out there that do on social media share a little bit of what they're going through. And it's good if you're sharing, what you're going through because you want it to heal somebody else. Then yes, it's very important. But if you're just doing it just to throw up on everybody, then expect the negative comments.
But only if it's
110%.
feeling good to you when you're sharing.
To release it, yes.
To release it. Only if it's feeling good to you, and it's something that your heart is just saying, take some of this weight off, and just let it go. You would be surprised on how you're gonna feel. But if it makes you feel good, it's gonna be so uncomfortable at first. Oh my God, because we're not used to that. But once you do that, it just feels like it just feels like a release of stuff that we carry with us. And I think it's a good thing. And again, there's haters out there that will use that against us, and shame on them. And so but we can't control that.
Yeah. And what we got to do, is what I look at it is, I know we are Let's Connect Now. We're also talking about business, because in business, we are giving giving people a little insight of what we do and who we are as individuals, and then as we are as business as well. Because with business, I believe can develop a lot of mental health issues as well, because
100%.
being a business owner, having a partnership, doing certain things to adapt and switch things over, yes, it could cause certain things, anxiety and other things that you're going through. So, I do want to hit that because, as we're going through the business on a daily, I mean, there's times where we've waken up and we've shared with each other, should we still do this? I mean, all the drama that we go through, all the politics of the business. I mean, is it even worth it anymore? Because it does cause the unnecessary
it creates fog in your brain. It just creates that fog. I mean,
but I'm not talking just about our work. I want to just talk about. I know you're gonna get into. I don't want to hit that. I'm trying to share this because it's not. I'm trying to tell to the business person that everybody, you got to find those right people, like we're saying, because everybody is going through it. You know what I mean? Everybody's going through it. It doesn't matter. We're just sharing about our business, but if you're in real estate, or because even if you're not the business owner, but you're in real estate, or you're a manager at a restaurant. I mean, it doesn't matter. Yes, the pressure can cause certain things, but that's what we say by talking to other people, or maybe getting help, or maybe even talking to somebody in your field, or somebody that who has overcome those areas in that field that you're in, and how they dealt with it to be able to continue to do it. Because it's not just our industry and what we're doing, but there's a lot of businesses out there that they too don't have the people to talk to and the right people to talk to, and that's why maybe they give up. Maybe their businesses go down because they feel, as what we do, I can do this. I don't need help. Who's going to tell me how to run my business when this is my business? But we do need the help.
Of course, and I think the pressures of any business, it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
It's part of it. It's part of it. Some at the beginning, it's all about growing, and you either learn from it, and can handle it, after a certain point, or you give up because you couldn't handle it. And not everybody can handle the stress. So with that, I had somebody that was with me for probably about, I would say maybe 4 years. Great person, awesome personality, loving person. And to this day, I respect him a lot. But there's one thing that he couldn't handle, and that is conflict. The conflict that comes with the job. Right? And that's in every job.
Yeah, every job.
Yes. He could not have those conversations. He would always look to me to handle that. And it used to aggravate me because it wasn't something that I knew he couldn't handle. I knew he could because he was a loving person. But something must have happened, along the way of his life or an experience or something that he shut that down, that he usually said, I'm never going to deal with conflict. I'd rather just walk away, give it to whoever it belongs to, and because he was just like, that doesn't belong to me. I'm not going to be part of it. And no matter how much I tried, it just wasn't part of who he was. And so, it's so important that we are balanced, right? And so as a business owner, especially right now, I'm talking today, tomorrow, the next day, future, with all the changes and everything that, yes, I will go back to COVID, everything that COVID did, there's more people that are stressed. There's more people that are, dealing with financial situations, that are dealing with, children that are depressed, that are dealing with so many different things that this
virus caused.
Yeah,
it caused PTSD.
And not just that, fear.
Yeah, and fear.
Fear, right? And but if we give in to all that, then we don't function. Fear is probably one of the worst things that could happen to us. And so if businesses are going through that and they're not dealing with it, then it doesn't make you a good leader. It doesn't make you a good manager. It doesn't make you, you're going to fail. Because, again, we take all that to bed with us.
Yeah, no, you can't have, and I've looked at that, and we've talked about that we have to try new things. And if we fail, it's okay. As long as we didn't do anything
to harm anybody.
or the business, but we tried something new, something different, and hey, it didn't work out. Okay, cool. We know we didn't do that.
Yeah, we're not failures, and that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Right? Is that if we make a mistake, we feel like we failed. I think you and I have had a little bit of those incidents.
Yes, a lot.
And we felt like, oh my God, what is it going to look like tomorrow? We're stressing out. Tomorrow was better.
Yeah.
When we dealt with it that day, it just felt like tomorrow just was going to be awful, and it wasn't that way, but we went to sleep with it.
Yeah.
And it just causes unnecessary stress, because just like the advice that I give, to someone else, mistakes, can be rectified.
Yeah.
And it's now, you acquire as wisdom, right?
No, and I love the fact that we're talking about this. It is Men's Mental Health Awareness, and and even by me being able to talk about this and being able to share. Even and I share as a friend, I share as a business person and stuff, because this is just things that, yes, we're being transparent, we're being vulnerable, so that that yes, we are being successful at what we do, the social media that we've been doing, all this great stuff that we're doing, but at the same time, yes, we are human, and yes, we do have the things that we're dealing with, because we do have our personal lives, when we do go home and have to deal with certain things, and learn to leave it at the door when we enter here, so that we could, do the things we need to do for the businesses that expect us to deliver for them. But I enjoy this. I love the fact that we're able to come on this platform, share what we're doing, share with other people, and hopefully we get the response from other people and get your comments and what and love to have you guys come on here, because we're not alone, and we know there's other business owners out there that need to hear this, that they're not alone. And because we want to form, there's a lot of organizations out there right now and a lot of events that are all about empowering women, and it's great. I'm not against it.
Yes, you are. He has an issue with it.
You know why I have an issue? Because I'm jealous. I am jealous because it's like it's frowned upon if men, and I'm being honest, I've shared this to a couple of women, and I'm being honest, I really shared this to a couple of women, and they're like, why? Why would you even want to do that? I'm not saying you. I'm saying I really share with this other business. Why would you want to do that? Us women, you guys did the workforce. And I'm like, whoa. But we go through it too. Why can't we express to one another the difficulties that we might be facing and encourage one another?
So what did I tell you when you said that? We thought it was a great idea and that you should host.
Yeah, Monica
your
believes
own
it's a great
event.
idea, and she's like, and I want to be there. And I'm like, no, you're not.
I did say that.
I did say empowerment.
I did say. I said, "Oh, be behind the scenes," just
I wanna be
because
there.
I'm kind of curious to hear what all the stuff that they would talk about. Who knows? But to me, it almost seems like you would do an event that would be like a bachelor's party or something.
See, that's the mindset of women, that we're gonna get all the men are gonna get together and just be crazy.
Yeah.
See, but it's not that. Sometimes us men need to get together so that we're men and we're gonna talk about men stuff, but at the same time, have an agenda. Talk about the real issues of why we're going through certain things, why we're making certain decisions, because all those things are because of the things that we're going through in life. But yes, I want to do a men's empowerment event, to where, when I say men's empowerment, is where we get together and we
Call it AA.
Wow, Aiden's even shaking his head. Wow, Aiden, wow, that's amazing, huh? See, Aiden's like, yes, let's do it. But when men want to do something like that,
AA is Alcoholic Anonymous. Huh?
Well,
Or
yes.
Call it MA. Men's.
See, now somebody else is now getting. You know what? We're gonna do it, guys. Men, we're gonna do it. I want to put it together. And
I'm all for it.
If you out there, Ben, and you're interested in wanting to put it together, let's get together. It doesn't have to be a big old group. It could start with 5, 10. But as we grow, we have an agenda, and it's just to bring back the values and principles of being men. Of having that respect towards a woman colleague, and certain things. So it's not just to empower men to go out there and tear up the world, but it's also to bring back the values and
Treat it
principles.
like a church, like a men's retreat.
Oh my God, we're gonna do hymns and stuff now, guys. See, and the women still try to put their influence into what we want to do. God, Jesus.
Well, just like we come to you because you're strong, for advice and to be the problem solver. I'm giving you advice now, treat it like a retreat.
Oh, yeah, maybe we should go on a retreat, but you're not coming.
Let me be behind the scenes, please. It would be an experience for me.
God, she wants to be the speaker, guys. You men need to rise up.
Hey, why not?
Why not? Oh my God, I was just playing. Oh my God. You said a lot of key things, and just just the fact that I feel like between you and I, like our partnership has gone through so much. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of disagreements, a lot of no's from me. A lot of growing between both of us, a lot of getting used to each other's ways.
Yes. And so that on itself is very stressful.
Yes.
Right? But I think now we're in a space that because we've made our I've made my point, you made your point, we now have, things aligned a certain way that we know, hey, you don't cross the line for this. We don't, this, that. And so now we're at a place where now we can actually give someone advice. And, we've been doing this, 4 years now?
4 years, yes.
4 years. I think if we were not going to make it as business partners, it would have been done within the first year.
Yeah,
or two.
definitely, yes.
Because there's so much. I mean, it's not as easy as it looks. When people look at us, they think that we just, we're very dynamic together, that we have, a gift, because, your personality, and because a lot of, some people know me, really well or whatever. But I honestly thank you, because you brought me out of a place where I didn't need to be. And so I will forever be grateful to you for pointing that out, as much as it bothered me, and I just thought, oh my God, you brought me out of a place that, that I had adopted, of an image that I wanted to sustain. And still I have my tendencies where I go back to it, but you remind me, that I could be better. There's nothing wrong with having fun. I'm entitled to that.
Yeah, you're
right?
entitled to have fun.
And same thing with you, with some of the things that you did that didn't sit well with me because of how I was dealing with certain situations. I'm now more open, right? And I become a very, more accepting of other people, and giving people the benefit of the doubt in a way that it's, what? We're all human beings.
Yeah.
We're all human beings. Yeah, some of us, have tattoos everywhere in our faces and our whole body, but it doesn't make us different. Just our outer body is different, but our hearts are the same. We bleed the same color of blood. Just because you're, somebody else is a different culture or a different ethnicity, it doesn't mean that we're different. We all have... everything in the inside is the same, and so I thank you for that, because I was very close-minded. I just knew one way, and that was the only way that I was going to get to my destination. But little did I know that it's okay to take different highways, towards my destination.
Experience different things,
Yeah, and I might get lost along the way, but if I have good people in my life that could guide me back to where I need to be, that's all. That's like the biggest blessing to me.
No, definitely, yeah.
And so you're doing great things, JR. At the end of the day, you gotta pat yourself on the shoulder. Learn to hug yourself. When we give ourselves a hug from us, it feels good just to hug ourselves and say you're doing okay.
Yeah, we know Monica likes to hug herself a lot.
It sounds silly, but actually it works. When you hug yourself, there you go. Because
I'm not going to bed.
We're the only ones that can love ourselves the way we know how to love ourselves.
No, we first got to love ourselves before we can love anybody else. You're right. Because then if we don't love ourselves, then all the flaws we see in ourselves, we'll see in the other people. And then we'll nitpick them because we're actually nitpicking ourselves.
Exactly.
And stuff.
Exactly.
So, but this has been a great talk. I'm really excited. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode and get encouraged and find your place, your way in business, in life, in whatever you might be going through. And we're going to continue these talks. We do want to bring on a professional and stuff, and because we're not professionals.
We are not professionals.
We're just being transparent.
From life experiences.
Yes, we're just talking from life experiences and stuff. So any last words before we go?
No, thank you.
Boom, bam, yeah. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube, Instagram. We're every week, Tuesdays, and 6 p.m.
Yes,
So.
and don't forget, at the end of the show, we're going to share a promotion for Father's Day. So if you still haven't gotten the gift for that special dad, it's not
Well,
too
this
late.
is after Father's Day.
That's okay. They can still use it.
Oh, they can?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've been sharing it on our IG.
Oh, okay.
And so it's from one of our sponsors, Massage Envy.
Okay, Massage
they have
Envy,
a
yes.
great promotion, and remember, massages are great to relieve stress.
Yes.
Great stress relievers. Check out their page, guys. See, what they have to offer, and if it starts with just getting a really good massage to get the edge off of yourself, then do it.
Yes.
because
Do
we
it.
can't wait.
Yes. This was to come in here. We're gonna have Ralph, the owner, come in here. We're gonna do a great show with him as well, and he's gonna explain a lot of this stuff of the reasons why they do different things. Either myself or Monica will be on the
it's me.
table. Yeah, right. You said you. You're gonna be like, no. I'm like, me first. So
Aiden.
Aiden will be able to be on the table. I'll work the board. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.
Yes, thank you guys.